on the back of that West Ham game, the West Ham fans were probably thinking, it's all right, they got Villa. You know, we might get a get out of jail free card. They're going to Villa away. So they must have been watching that in complete despair. Not only the result, but the performance as well. A confidence-boosting performance for Tottenham. Back-to-back wins now where we haven't won in 4 or 5 months of football, however long it is. So Spurs out the relegation zone, 1 point clear of West Ham, with West Ham playing Arsenal in the next game. Spurs at home to Leeds on the Monday night. And on top of that, you've got Nottingham Forest. We are 2 points below Nottingham Forest now. They play against Chelsea, about to kick off in 20 minutes' time. And they've played pretty much a B team in that game, in looking ahead to the Europa League semi-final. So all of a sudden, things are starting to look a lot better for Tottenham Hotspur. We're not favourites for the drop anymore. You've got to say West Ham, with their next 2 games being Arsenal and Newcastle away, they got to be big favourites now for the relegation.
Just touching on the West Ham fans, you were saying, watching in despair, I was watching a few of their watch-along highlights when I got back yesterday, and they were all so just... It wasn't that they were resigned, they were fuming with Aston Villa, like absolutely fuming that they had just rolled over. They couldn't believe what they were watching. Like, there was this match fixing so the Premier League just want Tottenham to stay up. They don't want to lose such a big club. They couldn't believe that Aston Villa would do such a thing, like rest players against us yesterday, and they were absolutely going crazy. It was so funny to see, but... yeah, in terms of the...
By the way, I've seen that narrative from West Ham fans, and I'm seeing like them putting... After their game, they were like uploading some of the refereeing decisions, and I'm like, have you not been seeing... Exactly, have you not been seeing like each and every Spurs game this season about refereeing decisions? And you have the gall to talk about refereeing decisions in this game. It was unbelievable.
So, if you look at the relegation battle now... obviously, it puts us in a brilliant position now with 3 games to go. It's crazy to think about it, but if we beat Leeds, we could potentially be safe before the end of the season, before the last game. If West Ham lose to Arsenal and Newcastle, now it's not given, but obviously when they go against Arsenal are going to be heavy favourites. Newcastle now, with their injuries coming back, they're at St James's Park, they're going to be favourites for that game as well. So if West Ham don't get any points in those 2 games, I think that's it for them. I can't see it going to the final day unless they pick something up in the next 2.
Yeah, I think obviously they won't be favourites going to the next 2 games. I can't see them beating Arsenal. I think Arsenal were pretty superb this weekend against Fulham as well. We all know what it means for Arsenal, but in terms of Newcastle, I mean, it's a hard place to go, St James's Park, but they got nothing to play for anymore, particularly by that game as well.
You say that after that win. I mean, what's the situation for them? Yeah, maybe not. I
think Newcastle's season's pretty much done.
It is done, but I tell you something. David Ornstein put out this news that they're going to keep Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe is not going to want to end the season like how that life been in the last few weeks, because I tell you something, the momentum from when you end the season going to the next season is very important. I know Eddie Howe will know that. And
it's their last home game of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's going to give it all their all. They're not going to want to end the season on a whimper. I don't think, without any doubt, that Newcastle are going to roll over. They're not going to roll over that West Ham team. They're going to give it everything. Because Eddie Howe's going to want to show, look, this has been a bit of a blip. We're going to go strong next season. He's going to want to fuel that belief again and get a good feeling back. And I think how you end the season can have a bit of a difference to how you take that into the next season as well. And Eddie Howe will know that. And he's not fighting for his job because they have a bit of belief in him, but there's been doubts about him. So he wants to try and turn the narrative.
Yeah, look, I don't doubt that Eddie Howe is going to desperately want to win the game, and he's going to be trying his best, and he's going to pick his best 11. But sometimes when you don't have anything to play for, the players can just have, take their eye off the ball a little bit and, essentially be on the beach a little bit.
It's true, but I think because Bruno and Joelinton, they've been out, now they're back, they're going to have the bit between their teeth because they've been missing a lot of football and they've probably been frustrated on the sideline. So I don't think that they're going to give it to West Ham at all. Give them an easy game. I think West Ham are going to have to, if they're going to get a result, they're going to have to play well. It's not going to be like Villa yesterday.
Do you think it's one more win for Spurs and that should be that?
I think probably, if I'm being honest. I don't want to say it because maybe West Ham can pull off a surprise, and they have pulled off surprises. You know, they went to the Etihad, got on a point. They've, you know, they were 2-0 up at the Bridge and should have got something out of that game. They were 1-0 up against Man United and were a minute away of winning that game. So they have pulled off big results in this run that they've had, and all big performances. So there's nothing to... And even against Brentford, I know they lost 3-0, but they could have easily got a couple of goals at least in that game, in that first half. So
they played well.
Yeah, in that first half, they did play well. So it's not like... Yeah, not like I watched West Ham yesterday and thought, okay, that's it, they're down, and you know they've got no fight left. I do think they've got
incredibly hard games.
That's the thing. They do have incredibly hard games, and I do think the likelihood is if we beat Leeds, the likelihood is I think that could be enough. I really do.
It's obviously not a given that we go and beat Leeds. Obviously, it's a very tough game. Leeds are probably one of the best form sides in the league right now. That's the thing.
So you can't take that for granted. They're playing very well at the moment. Now they've also got the shackles off a bit because safety is pretty much guaranteed for them. Then that could even give them more license to cause us more trouble. But yeah, I just do think I've got this belief if we do win that game against Leeds. Obviously, we're going to know before what West Ham did against Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I can't see our West Ham get anything out of that game. I'd be shocked if they get anything out of that game.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them to get a draw or something against Arsenal. We know like what Arsenal are like against low block sides sometimes, and West Ham's... I know their defence weren't great against Brentford, but that's kind of like a one-off at this moment in time because their defence has been brilliant for the last month and a half. So I think they're going to give Arsenal a really tough game next week. I don't know if they'll get points, but I think it will be closer than maybe some people imagine.
I don't think it'll be a battering. I just can't see them getting anything though. I'll be shocked if they get something. I think Arsenal.
Is that Arsenal or is that West Ham?
It's at West Ham, to be fair. I still think Forest are in this. Like if they lose today, and you look at their fixtures, every team pretty much they play has got something to play for really.
Yeah, they got Newcastle.
Well, I say that, but they're all difficult games.
I think Man United will have Champions League confirmed by the time they play them.
Yeah, but Carrick's still fine for his job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's going to want to. If they lose that game, that puts more doubt, about Carrick in full-time position.
Bournemouth last game of the season could be big.
They've got something to fight for.
And then they got Newcastle at home.
Which is it's not going to be an easy game. Again, I think Eddie Howe's going to want to finish the season strongly.
I still think West Ham are massive favourites because I just can't see West Ham getting more points than Nottingham Forest.
So, I could potentially... it depends. If Forest lose today and then beat Villa on the weekend, I think there is a chance Forest go 4 for 4 losses.
The thing is, West Ham are 3 points behind Forest.
That's the thing. They're going to have to pick something up in the next 2.
Plus much better goal difference as well.
No, but the thing is, if they, let's say, go to St James's and get a point, right, and then beat Leeds, that could do it.
That's 4 points. What, you don't think Forest get a point?
There's a chance. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but you look at their fixtures. If you want to give Forest fixtures to go 4 for 4 losses, those are the kind of fixtures you're looking at.
Yeah, it's true.
I do think they have probably the toughest.
I think West Ham got tougher fixtures. I really do. I think playing Arsenal is the hardest out of both of the fixtures. You're playing a title challenger.
They both got Newcastle.
And they got Newcastle away. Forest got Newcastle at home.
Yeah.
It's a very significant difference.
Yeah, but still, they've been still tough. Still both tough.
I can see Forest getting a point at that Newcastle game. Newcastle.
I'm not saying I could see them getting a point. I'm just saying it's not out of the question they lose all 4.
It's not out of the question, no. But I still think that you would prefer Forest fixtures to West Ham's, in my opinion.
But my point is, if they got a Europa League final, if they win on Thursday,
they could even lose all the 4 games and still stay up.
Yeah, exactly. My point is, West Ham will have to pick something up in the next 2.
Yeah,
they have to. I think if they don't, then Forest can't be caught.
They need 4 more points.
Yeah,
West Ham. Can you see that happening? Really?
I think they could beat Leeds on the final day.
That's 3 points.
Yeah, but they need 1 point. Is it beyond the realms of possibility they get a point in the next 2? 1 point?
Nothing's beyond the realms of possibility, but I just can't see it happening because Arsenal are obviously going for the title and Newcastle at home last game at St James's Park.
The likelihood is they won't, but it's not impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
It's not like that crazy to believe they could get 1 point. Like it's not really unlikely. I'll say the likelihood is they lose both. And if that happens, then obviously that's great for us. And I think obviously if that happens, Forest can't be caught. But if they do go to St James's and pick up a point, or they get a point at home to Arsenal, then that means Forest will need to pick up something.
Could
And
be
they've
quite
got very tough
significant
games.
what happens on Thursday night, because I think if they go out the Europa League, then they're going to put everything into these last 3 games in the Premier League. They're going to have to. And I think, obviously, they're prioritising Europa League over Premier League, which I think is nuts. They're 2 points outside the relegation zone. Well, 3 points outside the relegation zone. And they've played a completely weakened team for this.
Yeah.
I think it's
So,
nuts.
I think it's crazy. I think leaving it in the balance like that is. I'm shocked that I thought after our result yesterday, he would have looked at it and thought, you know what, I have to go full strength now and try and get a point and just keep safe before we do anything else. But clearly, look, it is a massive game on Thursday as well. So it's not like I don't understand why he's done it, but I think it's crazy. I think it's such a risk.
When is the Europa League final? Let's just see when this is, because I think it's still when the season's going on. The Europa League final is on the 20th of
so it's
May.
just before the final day.
Yeah, it's bang in the middle of their Forest game, of their Man United game and Bournemouth game. That's also massively significant.
You know, United, they might not have anything to play for, but are Forest going to have Forest, a final?
I mean, they're resting everyone for the semi-final second leg, 1-0 up. How are they not going to rest everyone for the actual final?
So this is my point. If they lose today, they have to get something out of that Newcastle game, because I think if they're in the final, then I don't see them getting anything out of United or Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
If they win on Thursday, a lot is on that Newcastle game.
You're right. You're right. So, I mean, the Europa League final could actually work massively against West Ham.
Yeah, against
Sorry,
for West Ham.
Well, I mean for West Ham, because it worked against them last night, obviously. But it might work in their favour.
What is insane? So we play Chelsea on the Tuesday. So in theory, if West Ham lose to Arsenal and we beat Leeds, we could actually be safe before we even play Chelsea.
Yeah, which
if
would
Newcastle
be mad.
then lose to, or even if we beat Leeds and they lose to Arsenal, even if they draw to Newcastle, we're pretty much safe because of our goal difference.
Yeah,
They would have to win.
Our goal difference is like an extra point.
Yeah, what's the difference between us and?
No, actually, Forest got better goal difference than us.
No, I'm talking about West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham, they're on minus 19. We've got 10 goals.
Exactly. So if they lose to Arsenal and we beat Leeds, and if that means if they don't beat Newcastle at St James's, we're safe before we play Chelsea.
Yeah.
What a position to be in.
We got to do the business.
That's a mad position. I know. It's all. A lot of people called in yesterday said if we beat Leeds, we're safe. That's what everyone was saying yesterday.
I believe that. I do believe if we beat Leeds, we're going to be safe. I've been telling you all season, saying we're going to stay up. Not all season, but in the last few weeks, the last month or so. I've been saying it. Look, I just can't envisage Spurs in the relegation in the Championship. Just cannot envisage it.
Well, the way things are shaping
up. And we've
win.
got that shot in the arm that we needed. Zerbi was that shot in the arm that Spurs needed. Everyone was saying, we were saying it how many times? Like, it's very rare a manager comes in at this stage of the season and saves the club. And it looks as though Roberto De Zerbi is doing just that.
Well, we have to get the job done first. Look, as we said, it's not finished yet. Leeds is not going to. We've seen how Leeds have done. Went to Old Trafford and won not too long ago. I think they're the second in the form table or something ridiculous. Like their form is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be an easy game.
Of course.
But it's also a game we probably will be favourites for, amazingly.
Leeds are second in the form table. Forest are actually top in the form table.
Bloody hell. So
Spurs creeping up there in 11th.
There you go. All right, we're making our way.
Back-to-back wins and a draw in there as well.
Yeah, so I think it's mad to think about when you think about when that goal against Brighton went in. That a couple games later we could be in a situation where we could be safe before Chelsea, when everyone was saying Chelsea were going to relegate us.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just get the job done. Let's get the job done, and then suddenly you get the job done. You stay in the Premier League, and then we can look forward to what can happen under Roberto De Zerbi for the coming seasons.
De Zerbi was saying the whole time we just need a win. He was saying it, and if we go 5 for 5. If the aura that Zerbi's going to get is unbelievable. Because everyone laughed at him when he said, we can win all 5. And we were like, what are you chatting about, Roberto? Well, 2 for 2 at the moment.
2 for 2. Let's make it 3 for 3 on Monday night.
Well, we looked at the stats. What was it, the percentage-wise? It was like 0.23%. There we go, 5 for 5.
What is the percentage now that Spurs get relegated? Your percentage?
Then we get relegated. Oh, it's dropped massively.
Of course.
I would say at this point, you're looking at about 30% chance we go down.
Yeah, I'm thinking between 20 and 30%, 25%, something like that.
Yeah, I think
West Ham have got to be massive favourites now for the drop.
Yeah, but given that if they do lose those next two, that's it for them, really, isn't it? Well, depending on what we do.
Is this the first time this season we've gone back-to-back wins?
It's the first time since the first 2 games of the season.
Wow, that's nuts, isn't it? That is nuts. Well, it's not really a surprise seeing as we didn't win for 4 months.
TDL Craig says on Sky they've given it 22% chance.
22%. Yeah, I think that's fairly accurate, around about that figure.
It depends what percentage you have us beating Leeds, I guess.
I think, obviously it's a very hard game, the Leeds game, just because of the form that they're on. But seeing as they're pretty safe now, I think the momentum shifts in our favour.
Yeah.
I think if this game was against Leeds last week, I think they'd probably beat us. But now they're pretty much safe. I think we're going to be big favourites to win the game.
Maybe we can get something at the bridge this year. 'Cause everyone's writing that off, isn't it?
You know what?
Which we always do.
Just beat Leeds, and then 5-5 could be on. 5-5 could be on. But look, I said it after the West Ham game. This could be the weekend that the momentum really changes, and it really was a momentum swing this weekend.
Yeah, the pendulum swung.
And it's just what we needed. It's exactly what Spurs needed, and it's come at an unbelievable time for us as well. Now, 3 games left to go of the season, and you got to say, everyone's pulled in the same direction, from Zerbi, the fans, the players. Everyone's given their all over the past 2 or 3 weeks, and we're reaping the benefits now.
3 more to go. 3 more to go. That's got to be the focus.
Let's do it.